G'day guys, in this episode of Warframe we're going to be showcasing the Inaros Warframe, which is a new Warframe. It's extremely versatile in the sense that it's as hard as a rock, and one of the greatest things about it is it has insanely high armor. The only downside, as you can see, is that we don't have a shield, which means that this is going to be a seriously new way of fighting because you're going to have to get used to the fact that you're always taking health damage. Due to the fact that this Warframe is only level 6 at the moment, I've decided to take a very easy starting mission, just to really showcase exactly what it can do. I don't want to be under any pressure. As you can see, I've also gone melee only inside of this level. I feel that melee weapons truly showcase how powerful a Warframe is. That ability that I used is his first ability, which not only blinds your enemies, but also allows you to steal health from them, and is actually pretty useful considering that you can use melee weapons to do finishes on them while they're blind. What I'm doing now is I'm using the block button in melee mode to deflect projectiles that are fired towards me. This decreases the amount of damage that I take from these projectiles, however it doesn't deflect the projectiles back to the enemy. In order to do that, I need to charge my weapons, which is what I'll do now. When I charge them, then they start deflecting the bullets back to the source. As you can see, even though this Warframe is very low level, using his abilities simply makes it child's play to kill things, especially with your melee finishes being more stronger than your standard melee attack. As you can see, his first ability actually packs so much damage on the initial hit that you can kill the melee only guys with one hit. that ability is called Sandstorm. It creates a tornado of sand which picks up enemies and throws them about in a CC attack. It also picks up objects like ammunition canisters, health orbs, energy orbs, and brings them towards the player. So handy if you're doing something like a survival mission where you have a lot of damage and you need to really just knock the enemies out. As you can see, the amount of armor that I have lets me literally stand in guys' fire and not take any damage really. Even for a low level guy, he is surprisingly strong. This ability is this third ability called Devour. What it allows you to do is to mark a person for being devoured, and then you can basically eat them for health, which is pretty awesome. The awesome thing to notice about this ability is that while you're devouring someone, you are actually invulnerable. So regardless of how much health that person has, you can devour them from 100 to 0 health, which means during that time you're completely invulnerable to attack. So even if you just need a little bit of breathing room, this attack actually allows you to have some great time just to survey the scene and see exactly what's happening. With these enemies, of course, their health is so low that the Devour kills them almost immediately. As you can see, no matter how much this guy hits me, he's not going to be doing any serious damage. My health is barely going down at all. That's what armor is all about, and this character excels in having an insane amount of armor. In fact, he has the highest base armor of any Warframe. As you see, if you successfully devour and kill someone, then it creates a clone of them made of sand of some sort, and this clone will fight for you for a certain amount of time before dying, or unless its health is completely depleted, then it will die. That's about all that there is to show you with this Warframe at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't know the fourth ability unlocked at this level, but needless to say, he is a very powerful tool in your arsenal, and he should not be disregarded. Even though he doesn't have a shield, he packs a serious wallop and has some serious tank. So for those of you wishing to be a bit more brutal and up close with him, then I would suggest that this Warframe is your guy. Don't forget to like and subscribe us, and see you next time.
Oh, I'll just step